The market's been on a tear, but is the next move higher or a sharp pullback? Today, I'm revealing 10 powerful setups, some breakouts, some reversals that could lead the next upwave, even as the indexes flash cautionary signals. We'll start with my proprietary market monitor to see where we really stand, then dive into the tickers primed for some action. Whether you trade short-term swings or build longer-term positions, these charts are loaded with opportunity. Quick market context before we talk tickers. We are currently on green day 14, and we are up 3.14% in this green cycle. Historically, a green cycle lasts about 13 days and goes up about 3.78% on average. But one more distribution day flips us to a yellow cycle. So the short-term risk reward is shifting to the downside. And with that in mind, we're leaning longer term with these setups. We're not looking for explosive short-term breakouts because we think the market could actually turn here. So a quick recap, shout out to everybody who caught Plug Power ticker symbol PLUG from the last week's video. We highlighted it at about $1.50, $1.60, and hey, it doubled in a week. So congrats to anybody who was on that one. All right, so our first ticker is TDOC, ticker symbol TDOC. This is a virtual care leading provider for on-demand telemedicine services worldwide. And this thing is beaten down since 2021's bubble, and the sellers kind of look exhausted here. So an early 2025 breakout failed, but the price is rounding out, and it seems like it could reverse. So short-term target here is $10. Intermediate is about 13 to 15 bucks. Our second stock is Vista Oil and Gas, ticker symbol VIST. This is an Argentina-based independent oil and gas producer with steady long-term growth. We like oil here. We think it's going to actually do pretty well. So if we look at the stock, April lows held on heavy volume and higher lows are forming. So every time this thing had big volume into the lows, it bounced. So that means there's some accumulation going on. So the swing target here is $42.50, longer term, 50 bucks. Keeping with that oil and gas theme, our third stock is Valaris Limited, ticker symbol VAL. This is a global offshore drilling contractor serving major energy companies. And this is one of the strongest oil stocks off the April lows. Quarterly moving average is crossing the yearly moving average, moving into a bullish trend. So the target here is about 55 bucks for short term and longer term $65. Our fourth stock is Aurora Innovations, ticker symbol AUR. This is an autonomous trucking technology company building the first full self-driving freight solution. And this thing has just been going sideways for a very long time, over a year. It's tried to break out and it's come back down very quickly. So that's pretty bearish, but the fact that the bears couldn't undercut any lows or break this thing down tells me that this thing can actually pop. So the first target is 7 bucks, and then intermediate to long term is $9 to $10 on this name. Our fifth stock is Recursion Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol RXRX. We talked about this on the last week's video. This is an AI-driven drug discovery platform integrating biology and machine learning. Basically, the weekly structure in this stock looks fantastic. It looks like a classic Wyckoff accumulation base. When we go to the daily, heavy volume without further price progress. And then this last wave in the month of August, September, there's not really that much volume. So it looks like the sellers here are exhausted. So my initial target, swing target, would be $7 for a bounce. And then longer term at the top of the range, about 11 bucks. The sixth stock is PagSeguro Digital, ticker symbol PAGS. I think we talked about this on the last week's video. This is a Brazilian fintech providing digital payments and financial services. So this thing broke out of a multi-month range and it's consolidating constructively. It hasn't kind of given all the gains back after it broke out, so that's bullish. We think this thing can continue. Initial target would be the swing highs at about 11 bucks, and then longer term, the top of the range is about 14 to 16, and then it could go further from there. Our seventh stock is Icon PLC, ticker symbol ICLR. This is a global clinical research and diagnostic organization serving biotech and pharma. This thing is pinched between the quarterly and the yearly moving average, so it's coiling here. If the market actually gets weak here, this thing could actually break down to about 130. But if it holds strong, it's a healthcare stock into a declining market. You could see the upside of about $200 breaking out of this yearly moving average. Our eighth stock is Rivian Automotive, ticker symbol RIVN. This is an electric vehicle manufacturer focusing on adventure-oriented trucks and SUVs. The weekly structure on this one looks fantastic. It's just coiling higher lows. Even on the daily, it's higher lows despite bad news of a recall recently. The volume off the lows shows accumulation. So I would target about $17 near term, and then medium term would be $19 to $20. All right, our ninth stock is GitLab, ticker symbol GTLB. This is a cloud-based DevOps software platform for collaborative code development. So the weekly structure on this one also looks fantastic. Looks like a classic Wyckoff accumulation base. On the daily, there's strong on-balance volume. It looks like it needs an earning catalyst to get above this yearly moving average, but I think if it gets above this average, it should do quite well. So the target is $55 for a swing, and then if the trend continues and it's a true spring setup, you're looking at $70 at the top of the range. All right, our final stock is Enphase Energy, ticker symbol ENPH. So this is a leading provider of solar microinverters and energy storage solutions for residential and commercial solar systems. And the chart shows repeated massive volume spikes with little price damage. So this is like a quiet, classic accumulation. As you can see, these spikes keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And recently, the biggest spike actually didn't produce any result for the bears. So it's finally breaking a year-long quarterly moving average ceiling. So if this thing can get going, I would target $45 to $50 for a swing trade. And then if it can get to the yearly moving average around $60. So when the price refuses to fall on record selling, someone big is in there buying. And I like to do this on my videos. This is a bonus stock. This is Smith & Wesson Brands, ticker symbol SWBI. So this is an iconic U.S. firearms maker transitioning from long decline to a new base. This thing's been going sideways for many, many, many years. And it's at the lows. And with everything happening in the world, it's looking like it's getting a bounce here. So the setup would be a stage 4 decline into a stage 1 base. And it's actually coiling here and it's breaking out. So it's really good. Catalyst driven trade. So potentially run to $11, pull back to $9.50. And then eventually, once it pulls back to $9.50, I think it could go to $15. Because typically when these things break out of their yearly moving averages, they correct back down to the top end of the moving average and then continue onwards. So that's what I would think with Smith & Wesson. All right, so across the board, we're seeing stealth accumulation. Institutions are loading up while headlines stay quiet in some of these names. We're late in the current short-term cycle, the green cycle, so you don't have to chase any of these names. We're building the shopping list now. So when the next green phase hits, you'll know your levels and you know your stops and you know the targets. Hey, if you guys liked any stock in the list, comment on your favorite one or your one that you think that won't actually work out. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I like to feature people's thoughts on future videos, so feel free to do that. And hey, if this video provided any value to you guys, hey, thanks so much. You can guys pop that like button so it glows, costs nothing, helps out the channel and keeps these videos coming. Really appreciate everybody who engaged with the content because you guys are awesome. I like to feature you guys' ideas and really appreciate all the comments I've gotten in my YouTube journey so far. So with that, I'll see you guys later and have a good week. Cheers.